Julien, there you are. How is Paris? How are you? What's going on in the City of Light?
Good morning, Max. Nothing is happening here. Kind of boring, actually. I was looking forward to meeting with you because everything is happening in your world, and I'm pretty sure you have a travel story for me. So just bring it on.
There is something literally happening, even as we speak, and I don't think you can hear it. If it gets to a crescendo, I'll let you know. But at 4:45 this morning, the protest started outside the adjacent hotel, but they're so close it might as well be outside my hotel, with sirens and horns and banging of tubs, banging of drums. It is now, for 3 hours later, they're still going. My goodness, they're very strong. But so for the last 3 hours, I have been in my hotel room, submitted to a really loud, raucous noise, yelling, banging. And I guess it's funny. I looked up, I looked up information about the hotel, and I guess this is an ongoing protest that's been happening. Somebody was complaining about it all the way back in 2019. And I guess the workers and my boss stayed in this hotel 2 weeks ago, and it happened to him one day. So, and I'm, I know
a French hotel.
Yeah. I was thinking this is the perfect thing to ask you about. You're much more practiced with protests, but I'm sure the hotel workers are miserably underpaid. It's very expensive to live in California and very hard to make the budget work and pay these people a reasonable living wage. So I'm not at all unsympathetic. I'm a little, and the thing is, when it first started, they had this siren noise. So I thought, oh my gosh, it's a fire alarm. So I jumped out of bed before I realized what it was. So I was good and awake, and then had to try to go back to sleep with this noise. So, I mean, it's an inconvenience for me. Hopefully one day, and I'm here another couple of days. I'm hoping this isn't a daily event. These people are getting underpaid for life. The hotels are trying to survive. I don't know what could we do. This is a very broad swath of CX. This obviously has nothing to do with a contact center or anything like that, but it's very much part of it.
The thing is, it's not your hotel, so it means you as a customer from Hotel B are suffering from whatever is happening in Hotel A, and Hotel B itself indirectly suffering from it, because if the word gets out, and it seems to be getting out.
If I had known, I would have found another place to stay, certainly.
Exactly. So it's actually having ripple effects. And I mean, from a customer experience perspective, there is really nothing I could think of that your hotel could be doing. I mean, they could be writing a thoughtful note of sort, but they're not going to give away gifts of free rooms to everyone in the hotel because of something completely out of their control is happening. Right. Otherwise, they better go bankrupt right away. So it's very tough, even for Hotel A, actually. I mean, I have no idea why they're protesting and who is right and who is wrong, right? That can only assume at this point. But if they are not being paid enough and they are scaring every customer out of the hotel is not going to be in a better financial situation to pay higher wages. So it's a vicious cycle here where everyone is going to lose in the end. Yes, that's a pretty tough one you've got here.
It is, and toughest of all because the noise is still going on.
But just for context, French people don't start protests at 4 a.m. in the morning. We usually do it after coffee, closer to 10 a.m. Just
okay, that
setting the stage.
Yeah, that proof once again how much more civilized France is than the United States.
Not really. I've noticed some. So I've seen one hotel protest back in 2018. We had that event in San Francisco in the very center of the city,
Oh,
and
right.
we booked that hotel, and the hotel itself, you had staff and union on strike. And the amazing thing is, it's completely different from France. In France, people would parade in the streets and block the street and try to stop the trains and metros and make as many people as possible miserable so that those people would be aware of what's happening. The US is really, you just stand in front of your company to make your employer miserable and try to get something out of it. Completely different strategy. Kind of admire the US one just because it doesn't get into my day. But ultimately, it seems to have the ripple effect that was not expected in the first place. And I'm very surprised they start at 4 a.m. They must really have an issue they want to fix, because it takes courage to do that.
This sounds like something that has been going on for a long time. The strike you referenced in San Francisco went on for a long time. I don't understand how this is tenable.
For anyone.
Yeah, for anyone. I mean, why would I stay in these hotels? Why, why is this not enough pressure on the hotel to do something about it? It's just such a stab right at the heart. We're going to wake up your hotel guests and in their defense, it's 4:45, not 4 a.m., but still.
Big difference.
Yeah, no difference whatsoever, I would argue. We're going to wake up everybody. They're all going to be miserable. They're all going to hate you. How does that not either get stopped somehow or lead somebody to a negotiating table? I
agree. That is very weird. And from a customer experience perspective, I mean, I said it, Hotel B is the one you're staying at. I don't think there is anything they could do. The very best they could do is write a few notes or give you a voucher for a discount next time you come, to motivate you not to badmouth the hotel to your friends and families. And they could try to contain it, but they just cannot give you a refund. That's just not feasible. Hotel A, I'm not quite sure what they should be doing beside the obvious, which is find a solution, find a middle ground. Right now, everyone is miserable. There must be a way to make it acceptable for both parties, because it's not, I mean, if it's not good for the customer, it's not good for the business. So ultimately, it's a real lose situation here. But even then, I'm not quite sure, beside negotiating, what Hotel A could actually do to satisfy customers here.
Yeah, I agree. There's I mean, I don't know. I'm probably as close as half the rooms in that other hotel, so it's yeah. I mean, and for all I know, this hotel has the same issue, and it's just they picked that one to protest today. But it's a rough, really. Just I don't know. Somebody's got to give, please. I don't want to wake up at 4:45.
That's going to hurt the travelers, the customers, and therefore it's just going to hurt the business. Ultimately, it's really a lose-lose, because ultimately the only possible solution, if they can come to an agreement, is the business shutting down, and the business shutting down is just people losing their jobs altogether. So it would be for everyone's best interest to sit down and find a middle ground. Well, I feel for you. I feel for those people in the street who had the guts to show up at 4:45 in the morning, meaning they had to wake up much earlier than that. And hopefully that's a short-lasting kind of situation. But if it's on since 2018, I'm guessing that's going to be around for a while longer.
Sounds like it. I hope not. I hope somebody's in the background negotiating and working these things, because yikes.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Max. I hope you'll find a way to get some sleep at some point. Maybe you need to go to bed at 7 p.m. in order to wake up fresh at 4:45 tomorrow.
Ready at 4:45.
A very early breakfast. Hope you feel better.
I do. It's not going to get me any sleep back, but at least we had a chance to talk it through, and that's what therapy is all about.
Perfect. Well, thanks for your story. I'll tell you mine next week and try to get some sleep until then. Thank you, Max.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thanks, Julien.
Bye.